I forgot. You're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Now, you all know I love Batwoman. I agree that when the Batman suit will be perfect is at the moment, and the exact moment, and only the moment, in which it will fit a woman. Now, the entire CW Arrowverse lineup seems to thrive on this kind of low B, cringy, bad acting thing. There's definitely a place for it. There's definitely some level of interest in it, and I guess I'm interested in it in the same way that people slow down and look at, a wreck on the side of the road. In terms of television right now, Batwoman, Supergirl, the entire Arrowverse just made a really, really bizarre decision. They have shelved the show until further notice. And I just wonder what that means. Now, there are some speculations out there, which I'm going to continue with, but this comes on the heels of an absolutely scathing review done by The Guardian. The progressive safe space, The Guardian, absolutely roasted Batwoman. The article is titled, "Holy cow, Bat fans, this is heroically bad. The plot is slight, the sets are dire, and Ruby Rose superhero is woefully underdeveloped. But maybe being awful is a superpower in these uncertain times." And it was done by a woman. Devastation. Devastation all around. This woman is about to be canceled. It's a rare thing in these high quality, high stakes, immaculately professionalized TV times to see someone on screen who can only 80% act, but like only semi-convincing buses. Two such performers have come along at once in Batwoman, the CW's new entry into the Arrowverse. One of them is Doug Ray Scott, whom you may 80% remember from his villainous roles and substantial cameos in about 80% of the things since the mid-90s. He plays Jacob Kane, the brother of Martha Wayne, and head of the Crows, the private security firm that has taken over the job of protecting Gotham City since Batman disappeared 3 years before we arrive at the story. More problematically, the other 80%er is Ruby Rose, who plays Jacob's daughter, Kate Kane. By the end of episode 1, she has broken into cousin Bruce's Batcave and taken on his mantle. Her 80% covers all the scenes that do not require her to be super heroic. What made her so good in her breakthrough part as Stella is in Orange is the New Black, her flair for comedy, her perpetual ironic glint in her eye, and the ability to turn seductive at a moment's notice, is great here for the connective tissue. The backstory with the girlfriend she lost while in training expelled her for liking females, and the banter with comic book baddies and so on. What she can't muster is the full-hearted savior of Gotham approach needed in other scenes, or the emotional gush that Kate's daddy issues and survivor's guilt from childhood periodically require, and that before she is further hampered by the addition of Kate's famous red hair via a wig so preposterous it should come with a warning, fatally injurious to the suspension of belief. Everyone involved, of course, might fare better if they had a decent script, proper lighting, well-choreographed fight scenes, and sets that didn't look as if they'd been nailed together from whatever was left after Michael Keaton left the building in 1989. But you know what? Sometimes good enough is good enough. Sometimes a dead twin sister whose body was never found, and a mad lady villain in equally preposterous blonde wig who knows the kind of details about the heroine's life that only her missing sister could know is all the twists you can handle. Sometimes a gender flip is enough sophistication and sufficient justification for another foray into this or that other verse. If Batwoman were Watchmen quality, no one would have had the mental bandwidth at a moment to deal with it. Maybe if things improve a bit, or we get used to this as a new normal, it will be possible to care about the fact that Batwoman's plot is ridiculously slight, that her character is woefully undeveloped and overtly presented in as the real Batman stand-in, rather than an opportunity to interrogate gender expectations, narrative norms, and a variety of other fertile issues offered by that premise. And that is to say nothing of the fight back against the hate that poured out towards it. The casting of Rose, a woman who loves ladies, was announced. Who cared about that? It wasn't the people in the middle. Nobody cared that Ruby Rose dates women in real life, do they? Where were those articles? I don't remember the pushback of that. I remember the pushback that was going to be a character trait in Batwoman, and that invariably doomed it because it just turned off so many people up front, because nobody cares about Batman's love life. I mean, I suppose a few people maybe, but they cared about, him fighting crime. For now, though, pure and perfect trash is what we need, and Batwoman provides. Add it to your list that should already comprise of Gossip Girl, the remakes of V and Melrose Place, and anything else starring Kate Cassidy, and Revolution stars Billy Burke. And for the few who can still cope with complexity, nuance, and scripts in which people don't stop every 5 minutes to cry, you're all I have left. At each other. And other wonder aloud themselves whether this new Bat person is also male. Kate's asked Sophie to turn away, and there's plenty of other places to go. There are Netflix binges to have, archival box set to watch on BBC iPlayer. For the rest of them, there's Hokum, and thank God for that. There's a lot of pushback in the comment section, but not as much as you would expect, to be honest. But on top of that, when we look at the ratings for the show, as the ratings plummet, the show curiously goes on hiatus. Why would you put it on hiatus now when everybody's stuck at home watching TV? It seems so odd. I mean, you could argue that, there are production issues, but aren't most of these shows filmed way out into the future? I mean, and on the heels of a scathing Guardian review, plummeting viewership numbers in the tank, could it be something else? Could it be they're taking time to maybe recut and re-edit and try to provide a better product? I certainly would hope so. Why wouldn't you want TV out right now? At a time when every major video game company out there is pushing to release games early. People are releasing movies. Disney is releasing movies early. Warner Brothers releasing movies early to streaming. Why would you pull back this show? It's almost as if it's failing. I wonder, could that possibly be the case? When you look at it, this is a show that at one point had 1.86 million viewers. The day the show premiered, it never came close again. It immediately dropped 400,000 viewers and only reached 1.7 during the cross-show event, the Crisis event that you had to watch all three shows to get it involved. That's the only thing that saved it. And then it was immediately 1 million people left the following week. Now, last week, they did manage to eke out about 16,000 new viewers, but that's like nothing. In a time in which the nation is sitting at home with nothing to do, that's all you can muster. And I wish I could say the same for Supergirl, which I enjoy on Cringe Factor alone. In a time when everybody's sitting at home, you managed to lose viewers. You lost 11% of your viewership in the demo change and 5% of your viewers when everybody's sitting at home. Now, just minutes ago, details came out. The CW sets late April return for the Arrowverse TV shows, Supergirl, Batwoman, The Flash, and the Legends of Tomorrow, following their COOF delay. The CW has set a return date for these shows. An overwhelming majority of movie and TV show productions have shut down in an effort to prevent further issues. While this isn't an issue for the Arrowverse, exactly! That's what I'm saying. Well, this isn't an issue for the Arrowverse series Black Lightning and Legends of Tomorrow, since they'd already finished filming for most recent series. It's presented as a real dilemma for still filming series. As a direct result, The Flash, Batwoman, and Supergirl have had to shorten their current runs. Will it even survive this? Given the uncertainty on when Arrowverse can resume production, the CW put the entire DC TV franchise on extended hiatus this month and will rerun the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossovers in its place next week. There's still a lot of questions surrounding how the shows will wrap up their ongoing storylines before breaking for the summer, but at least fans know now when to expect new episodes to air. The question is, will anybody care? So maybe it is possible that they literally only had one episode in the can when they had to shut everything down. I don't believe that's the case. I'm sure they had several done, but maybe they're looking at like, well, we've got 2 done, and then we don't know when filming is going to start up, so we need to save these 2 so that when we start, we can kind of keep the flow. That's entirely possible. But the real question is, will these shows survive it? Will anybody even remember Batwoman and Supergirl after going a month without seeing these? This is the same problem I talk about comics. Will anybody after... Look, we're all going to be changed in some, at least small way after this. There will be things that are major changes. Like, I think there will definitely be people that just never go to movie theaters again. There will be people that never go to concerts again. What is the percentage of these people? Probably small, but they exist. What will people do after not picking up their pull lists for the last 3 months at their local comic book shop do? Because they're not going to spin up any new issues till maybe July at this rate. So how many people are going to wait 5 months without picking up any new hobbies? I'm telling you, as for myself as an example, I'm literally jonesing to pick up Magic the Gathering again because I'm running out of hobbies. It's been a month. I'm maybe considering going back to Magic the Gathering. Will I go back to other hobbies if I get back into that? Probably not. Most people only have time for 1 or 2 hobbies when they have to go to work. So when the nation goes back to work and comic book shops, what's left of them, reopen, are people going to go back in? I bet you those numbers will be down. They certainly won't be up. And then you talk about the same thing with these struggling TV shows. How easy is it to replace a terrible TV show with one that's even slightly better? Right now, when you have endless time to go through Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Chiller, all these opportunities to find new shows to love is going to leave, I believe, Batwoman and shows like Supergirl long behind. It'll be interesting to see if they survive. Make sure you stay tuned to this channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.